What's up, everybody? My name's Big Cam and welcome back to another Hot Toys Marvel 1/6 scale collectible figure unboxing. And today we have a very special Stan Lee character cameo from his appearance in Guardians Volume 2. And this is the giant plastic packaging it comes in. It says Stan Lee MMS 545. I believe the other one we unboxed this weekend was 327, so we're 200 plus figures removed to this Stan Lee, and yeah, so many movies in between, and it looks like he comes with his Spaceman suit from his cameo in this movie where he's talking to a couple of the other Watchers, and then he comes with a big rock to sit on. So yeah, I'm here for the display bases, but I did get this from my local comic book shop, so I'm not sure even if it's completely intact. You know, I'm not sure if the figure came with everything it's supposed to and the Sideshow exclusive accessories. You know, like I would have no idea because this is going to be my first time opening it on camera with y'all. So let's pop open this plastic tray container here. Popping off the top of this. Some Guardians 2 stuff that's in there. Might pop that out just to put as like a display space somewhere. But we have a big old box here, which does feel like maybe the figure's actually inside of it. I had one other Stan Lee figure that came in a big plastic tray like this, but it was Stan Lee's Sakaar outfit, where he's like the barber in Thor Ragnarok, which is even after this movie. So we have the big rock here, taking the plastic off of that. Okay. Not sure what's this rock is doing, but I think it's just a rock for him to be able to sit on. Alright. Oh, interesting. So this little backdrop here I think comes for the figure, and it's just some like legs for this thing to be able to stand up, and I believe this is the part it connects to, and this I believe is just like a maybe like a Guardians portal in the background, and then this is supposed to just be like Stan Lee sitting there. I'm not sure if I'll actually be able to use this because of how large it is, but I do like that it's included. And then there's this little Stan Lee, you know, and I think that's figure photography there, I'm hoping at least, and he's sitting on the rock base, and he's got his full astronaut suit on, and it says, "Hey fellas, hey, wait, where are you going? Hey, you were supposed to be my lift home. How will I get out of here? Hey, oh gee, I've got so many more stories to tell. Oh guys, oh gee." Stan Lee quote from his cameo here. "Oh guys, oh gee." Like, where you going? You're my friends, right? You were my lift home. You know, like, oh Stan. So funny. But now, to pull out this figure himself, how's this work? Oh, just like a regular style box. Stan Lee, legal information around the back. Yeah, nothing too much. So let's slide off the top of this. Hopefully he's looking alright on the inside of there. He's got his Stan Lee. Maybe this was never unboxed because it looks like he's still got plastic on his head there. But I would think it's been unboxed. But he's got his glasses, he's got gloves, he's got a astronaut dome. Yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's pop off the top of this. Maybe it hasn't been opened. Yeah, no, it definitely has been, because the tape there felt like it was peeled up one time previous, you know. But so even used figures a lot of the times are still in good condition because the collectors that own these figures aren't like destroying them. Like, sure, all of my figures are now pre-owned, but like, I'm not destroying them. I'm not putting them in crazy poses to destroy them for long periods of time. I'm not in here all day, every day, you know, smoking or letting this room get dusty or, you know, fucking with the figures, breaking them, you know. So a lot of these I feel like I'll be able to resell at some point in the future, and they should hold their value pretty damn well. But just popping off at this little container for Stan Lee here. Oh man, I love the pop of orange that this suit has and how it's like an astronaut suit. Oh man, I've always loved space, but an astronaut suit on my 1/6 scale collectible figure, that's exciting. Instructions down bottom, make sure you read those. Don't want to mess up my Stan Lee here. But just popping out the figure himself. Oh, he's got a giant space bag on the back as well. Plastic on his head, popping that off. big old smiles for Stan Lee. He's got like a little turtleneck on. God, you love to see it, man. Stan Lee, oh, rest in peace, you legend. You absolute goat. Excelsior. he's just a puffy guy in a spacesuit, man. What? Don't mess with him. He's just a guy. He's just a man that likes space. He's got big space boots on. Oh my god, dude. Do I need to start getting astronauts? Because this is one of the coolest figures I have. Like, he's a full spaceman, and then this like dome pops on over his head. That's freaking incredible. Oh my goodness. His glasses, of course. We gotta try on his glasses, see how Stan looks with his space glasses. Think about how many different pairs of glasses this guy must have been sent in his day. You know, because it's like his trademark thing, and everyone wants him to be wearing their pair of sunglasses, right? Like, he might even have had a sunglass deal, you know what I mean? Like, had a company that was like fully sponsored Stan Lee, you know? Like, hey, wear our glasses. But that is so cool. Look at that. That is freaking awesome. I love me some Stan Lee, and Stan Lee loves me. But yeah, slick back hair. He's an old man, but he's happy as could be to be in this spacesuit. I wonder how this works, and this goes on. I wonder if it just like plops in, just boop, and then we just boop right over his head there. Is that how this works? Or maybe they're supposed to go together and then boop on? Maybe. Hold on. Let me try. So maybe they go boop together. Just like you do to your little puppy's nose. You walk up to him and go boop. You boop these together. Maybe that goes together like cha. And then this slides on like that. And then now we got Stan Lee as an astronaut in a dome. I don't think you necessarily need the dome. Maybe you can take the dome off and you still get the look you're going for here. But yeah, not too many other accessories. Just Stan Lee, this base, and a couple of hands. So let's see if, does he stand? Hey, he stands. So Stan stands, and that is a win for me. I don't know about y'all. And if you guys missed yesterday's unboxing of the other Stan Lee, go check that out if you haven't, or stick around later in this video and we'll do a little stand by stand by stand, and we'll do 3 different Stan Lees, and 2 of them in cameos, 1 just the man himself, and we'll see how they look all lined up next to each other, and we'll do a little side by side figure comparison. But how many different Stan Lees did they make? You know, if there is all of the Stan Lees from the various different cameos, I might be on a mission and a journey here to collect every Stan Lee. You know, like, I might not collect every figure or every Hot Toys figure that ever came out, but I kind of want to get every single Stan Lee, because now I have 3 and I could just keep going, you know, and just get them all. But comment below, how many Stan Lees are there? You know, is there any more? I don't know. I haven't seen any other ones besides Spacesuit, the real one, and Sakaar Stan. But if they make more, I'm totally going to be getting them. I don't know about y'all. But let's lay out everything, even though we've already kind of looked at everything Stan comes with. Let's lay it out all on the desk in front of me here and take a closer look at Astronaut Stan Lee from Guardians Volume 2, and we'll see what he comes with and what Stan has to offer.
Alright everybody, sorry for that background behind Stan Lee there. It's a bit reflective, but you can see briefly there above either one of his shoulders, you can see a portal, and it's actually like a hologram type thing, and you can kind of see it there, where like on the left side is this one scene from the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I believe it's a post-credit scene actually, or it's like in the middle of the film randomly, but the Guardian ship flies through one of these portals and Stan's sitting there talking to the other Watchers that are kind of like Uatu the Watcher, but not necessarily him, but the other Watchers Stan's talking to and being like their little informant. But you can see it's on the left side, and then as you go to the right, the ship now is over on the right side. So it's like one of those weird hologram reflective things, kind of like that picture I have up there where you move and you can see the villains versus the heroes, and that actually worked better than I expected it to. But we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Stan Lee here in his cameo outfit of the astronaut suit, and apparently on the back of this suit, the little backpack here, those things are just magneted on, so you can take off that backpack, or they call it, I think, life support. But I'm going to keep him on just because he's an astronaut. I'm going to keep the look complete. I'm going to keep the helmet on, you know, and Stan Lee and his glasses in there look awesome. And I'm sorry you see the ring light, you know, affecting things, but it is what it is. Not too many accessories for our boy either. He's just got some different hands, some, you know, maybe reaching out or like, you know, splayed out hands, then just some normal relaxed hands on his character already, and then some even more, you know, clenched, kind of almost the same exact pose as those hands, but just a little bit more like maybe he's picking up dirt, or maybe his hands are out to the side saying like, guys, come on, where you going? I got more stories to tell. And, you know, I really wish it came with more, but like, what else could he possibly come with? He's an astronaut. He comes with the rock. He comes with a background. You know, maybe some more hands, maybe a thwipping Stan Lee hand, or maybe, I don't know, something for him to hold, some Guardians Easter egg, you know, maybe something that was rockets or something. But, you know, it does its job, and now I have two other Stan Lees in my collection now. The one that got unboxed yesterday, which is just Stan Lee himself, and the other Stan Lee cameo character I have is Stan Lee from Thor Ragnarok. So why don't we toss all of those bad boys next to each other and do a bit of a side-by-side comparison before I try and get some poses off with this Stan Lee. But also, anybody that's got that information down below, are there other Stan Lee cameo figures out there besides the Stan Lee barber from Thor Ragnarok, astronaut Stan Lee from Guardians Volume 2, and then the normal Stan Lee? You know, is there another Stan Lee? Because if there is, I'm going to find them. You know, like, I need all the Stan Lees in my collection. But like I said, let's toss them all next to each other and do a bit of a side-by-side comparison. Oh, right, everybody. We got Spacesuit Stan Lee there in the middle from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and the other two Stan Lees in my collection, and one got unboxed yesterday, and that would be the regular Stan Lee, just Stan Lee himself. And then in the past, I had this Thor Ragnarok Stan Lee that I thought looked pretty damn good, and he cut off all of Thor's hair, so that's why he's got that Rapunzel hair in his hand there, which is starting to fray a little bit, but not the biggest deal as long as I don't touch it too much, and maybe I can get a comb or something and comb that back nice. But, or maybe that's time to put that back in the box and not just have Thor's hair just out and about, just shedding, I guess. But Stan Lee in the middle there in his spacesuit I quite like, and I could take off that pack on the back, and I'm not sure if I will end up using the holographic diorama display thing in the background, although it looks pretty cool with like the Guardian ship and it can move when you move side to side. I'm not sure how good it will look on the shelf, but I know Stan Lee himself will look phenomenal. So I'm probably going to have, you know, the two cameo Stan Lees near each other. And then I might just put this Stan Lee over with like the Avengers Doomsday people and like the guy that started it all type of thing, you know what I mean? But I love the difference in glasses. Like, even this Stan Lee came with a clear set of glasses, and then, you know, he's got like futuristic space glasses for both of these guys. Like, one's Sakaar red space, and then the other's like this black and gold grungy space glasses. You know, like, I love, Stan Lee must have had thousands of pairs of glasses, and I respect it. You know, the slightly tinted, yeah, I'm totally here for it. Now I want to get a pair of like cool glasses myself, you know, like those glasses that Stan's got on right there. I would love to get a pair of those. But not too many accessories these guys come with. I mean, Spacesuit Stan only comes with a couple of hands. The other Stan Lee at least comes with like a chair and some stuff. So why don't we toss Spacesuit Stan Lee into a couple of poses and see what he is capable of. All right, everybody, we have Spacesuit Stan Lee from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 spinning around on the turntable for us here, just standing straight up and down just as he comes fresh out of the box. And then I have his hands out by his side like, hey, what's the big deal? What's going on here, fellas? And then I have him sitting on his space rock, which he can't necessarily sit all the way down on without fully stressing the suit. And I struggled even to get him to sit down fully himself. But he kind of looks like he's sitting and just hovering above it. And he's got Stan Lee standing next to him. And he's kind of pointing at him like, hey, man, how are you out here without your spacesuit on? And then in his final pose I got with him, just because there's not very many accessories and not much I could really think of to do with him, only 4 poses today for Stan Lee, and he's sitting on the base just waving like he's waving at the other watchers, like, hey, where are you guys going? Oh, come on, you guys were my ride home. Aw, gee, come on, guys. I got so many more stories to tell you. God, I love Stan Lee. And sorry for the reflective background, picking up a little bit of the blinds from the window next to me and the ring light off of his shiny dome. And I promise this suit looks even better in person. On camera, it kind of pales out the orange to this weird yellowish color. But in person, it looks a little bit more orangey than yellow. And it's very vibrant and it looks really good. And, you know, you could see Stan Lee's face without the reflection on it in person. And, yeah, I think as far as, like, the suit itself, it makes me want to go find other spacemen. You know, like, I didn't realize how much I loved the look of a spacesuit. And now that I have a 1/6 scale Spaceman, I kind of want to go get some more. I don't know if they've made any of those. Maybe there's, like, an Apollo 13 figure out there of, like, Tom Hanks or something. But, yeah, let me know. Is there any other spacemen out there, or other Stan Lee cameo Hot Toys figures? You know, I only have 3 Stan Lees now, which I think is more than most people have, but still, I now have 3, and I'm thinking I want to get them all, you know, Pokemon style. If you got one Stan Lee, you gotta collect them all. Me and my buddy were talking about the other day. He goes, you should get the Tony Stank one. And I was like, that's pretty much just Stan Lee in a FedEx worker's outfit. So I wonder if there's like a 1/6 scale FedEx costume out there, and it comes with a little package, and then I just put my Stan Lee in that outfit, and then, you know, bam, we got this Tony Stank variant. But I think I'm gonna leave my regular Stan Lee just as himself sitting in his director's chair, because why not? But now that we've gone through some poses for this bad boy, why don't we go toss him on the shelf and see what he's looking like in his new home? Oh, right, y'all. I am quite happy with how things are looking in this collection room at the moment. And, you know, a little bit of an Iron Man shrine over on the right side here with a little bit of Star Wars figures. Got Cap shrine up top. Cap Bucky, Cap Bucky, Cap. Love that. I got Doctor Strange, Doc Ock down bottom, the docs together. I figured that kind of worked out. All the rest of my Spider-Man guys in there. And then I have Stan Lee in his spacesuit that I tossed over here on the left. And he's sitting right in front of Thor and Loki from Avengers. And then Thor, Ragnarok, Hulk, Gladiator Hulk, Gladiator Thor, and Sakaar Stan Lee as well. And then I got a couple other figures over here. The Mandarin, if you guys haven't seen him in Wonder Man, so funny. Love Trevor Slattery, love Ben Kingsley. And yeah, Shang-Chi better be returning in Doomsday as well. And the other Stan Lee that I unboxed this weekend was the regular Stan Lee, and he's over here with the Doctor Doom figures, which is also awesome. And I might have another statue unboxing coming next week. Although that statue won't be sitting in this room, there will be another statue getting unboxed next week, and stay tuned for that, y'all. That's gonna be very exciting. I got some room there for expansion. I just did Soups recently, so go check out that unboxing if you haven't. That came out last week. Some Deadpool Wolverine figures, maybe some more Deadpool Wolverine figures just came in the mail, so I'm going to have to create some room on this shelf for those bad boys, or maybe bad girls, who knows, we'll have to see. The DC shelf's looking pretty mean. Batfleck 2.0 on the left there. The Flash just got unboxed last weekend as well. I think I'm going to have Clooney's Batman and Chris O'Donnell's Robin from Batman and Robin on the way pretty soon. The 2.0 1989 Batman and the Jack Nicholson Joker up front there. Gotta love that. Mars Toys, Riddler, and Two-Face. That Two-Face figure doesn't get as much love or shine as it deserves, but man, oh man, do I love that figure. Tommy Lee Jones, just like the pop of the 2 different colors. Badass figure, really. Batman and some Suicide Squad figures down bottom there. And still got some Legos in here, honestly. I'm going to have to clear these out eventually and then take back these 2 shelves for this room, because I'm pretty maxed out at this point, you know, and I'm going to need some more room for figures in the near future. But this has been another Hot Toys figure unboxing. Thank you guys for coming on by, and I hope you enjoyed this figure unboxing of Stan Lee from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 in his spacesuit look. And Comes with that little rock that I kind of made it look like he's sitting on, but not really. But still a great Cameo figure. And if you know of other Stan Lee figures out there, make sure you guys send those my way, because I am totally on a mission to collect all the Stan Lees that have ever been created. But that's it for me, y'all. Thank you guys for sticking around this far into the video. If you would like to send me your other thoughts to my other social medias, links for those down in the description below. And if you've made it this far in the video and you would like to support the channel further, the best way of doing that is dropping a like on this video, commenting down below, subscribing if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss future Hot Toys unboxings every weekend, and you'll get the notifications when those come out. Once again, my name is Big Cam, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace!